Hello, how y'all doing? I'm going to address this to the president, if there's even a small chance that he'll ever look at it. But Mr. President, it's too late. It's just too late. It's too late for any federal help. It's absolutely too late. In March, people were hoarding toilet tissue and going into panic. By April and May, everybody had started to spiral down. By May, most people had hit rock bottom. People had already left their apartments and were living out of their car with children, I might add. Children. Now, in fact, actually by March, a lot of people had already lost their house. Okay? Now, the Central Americans who you let in, you promised to get them out, but the Central Americans who you let in by the millions over a 4-year period, they're happy. They're having no problem. The only problem they have had is to buy face masks. That's the only adjustment they have had to make. They're still buying cars. They're happy. You know why? Because you are paying their rent. You pay their mortgage every month. You buy their food every month to the tune of an absolute minimum of $300. If they have 2 children, that's $600. That's $900 for 2 children. You know, as a person, I can't even wrap my mind around $900 worth of food. Not every month. I can't even wrap my mind around that. But the Central Americans are happy who you let in by the millions over this last 4-year period. Because you, Uncle Sam, are paying their rent. You pay their rent every month. You pay their mortgage every month. So you're going to do that for the next 20 years. They're not worried about anything. You're going to raise those children. Every child they keep having, every 9 cotton picking months, they have children every 9 months. You paying for every last one of them. And they know you're going to pay for every last one of them. They know that. Excuse me. They know that you're going to pay for every last one of those children that are born. Any money they make is just money under the table. That's just cheap money. Money paid in cash, money under the table. That's all that is. It's not even reportable. Now, of course, they're moving drugs because pandemic or no pandemic, Americans are going to take drugs, okay? So, of course, they're going to make some money moving drugs. We all know that. Now, it's partially our fault. I admit that. Because Americans are not super savers. Now, Asians like Koreans, Indians, and Pakistanis, I'll admit, they are super savers. So part of it is America's fault. Excuse me, I'm itching. Part of it is America's fault. Americans are not super savers. Most of us don't have enough money to save for a maximum of 2 months before we hit the street. And the accountants are coming on YouTube and talking about the stimulus check that never is going to happen and has never happened. What you should have done was given everybody $1,500 a month until February. $400 per child. That's what you should have done. And you wouldn't have so many people on the street. New York alone has over 13,000 vacancies. Even if you give us a stimulus check in November and or December, it's not going to do any good. It's just play money. Why? Because everybody's already at rock bottom. It's not going to make any difference at all. Everybody except the illegals that you let in this country are at rock bottom. All the Americans are at rock bottom. We are already in the famine stage. The senior citizens are already saying, I don't have nothing. I don't have anything to eat. The senior citizens are waiting in the same line at the food bank that everybody else is. Senior citizens. So anything you give us is just going to be play money. That's all it's going to be. And it would not make a financial dent. People are already at rock bottom and never going to get back up to where they were again. Now, a lot of evangelicals endorse you. How much is the RNC paying them to endorse you? I know there's some that's not going to even get out of bed for less than $20 million. I mean, what are you paying them $1 million a month? RNC's paying them $1 million a month, $1,500 a month, $2,000 a month. I mean, really, look, the evangelicals know the rules. You got to pay to play. They know the rules. Now, look, if somebody's paying me $2,000 a month, I would have I would advertise them all over Facebook myself. Okay, I would advertise them too. Now, Kenneth Copeland says, now I don't have anything against Kenneth Copeland. I actually like him and his wife. Okay, excuse me. I don't have anything against him. But he was talking about Trump's or your use of profanity. Kenneth Copeland said you can talk any way you want to. Okay, now, like I said, I like them. Okay, but I thought he was a prominent Christian. I was just surprised he would compromise on something like this, because the Bible says, let no perverse communication proceed out of your mouth. So Kenneth Copeland has given you permission to cuss. And none of the evangelicals will rebuke you for all of your adultery, for all of that fornication, for being a pagan. None of that. Okay? None of that. Okay? That amazing. No matter how bad or vile your behavior is, they will not rebuke you at all, for any reason. So I would say that you have a failed presidency. When you go overseas, I cringe. What are you going to say to the heads of state overseas? What are you going to do overseas? I never did understand why you didn't tell us in February that there was a pandemic. We could have been prepared, been better prepared. The country could have been better prepared. And, you know, the nursing homes and hospitals could start spraying Lysol everywhere. Okay, at least we would have had a month to prepare. I don't understand why you didn't tell us in February. We lost a lot of valuable time. But the economy hit rock bottom. And like I said, we are already in the famine stage. We cannot get any worse than what we are. We are in the famine stage. Pestilence. Famine and the sword. Okay, that's what the Bible talks about. Now, I have to admit that your presidency is not without its humorous moments. It has a lot of comic relief, like when you suggested that we ingest Lysol or bleach to kill the virus. Okay, that was comical. When you said the virus would miraculously go away and it spiked anyway, that was humorous. When you said, when your niece came out with this book, and you said, well, nobody in the family liked her anyway. Now, that was humorous, too. So your presidency is not without comic relief. So the lessons I have learned, and I think most Americans have learned, is number one, we need to be super savers. But we need to be super savers whether we are in a recession or a depression or prosperity, whatever. Okay, we can do with less. We don't need to buy all this stuff. Number three, we learned the government does not care. Does not care about us. Number four, we learned the illegals live better than we do and will always live better than we do. And they're not even supposed to be in this country. Number five, we learned, look, this is how it works. You get a government job, you do a little bit of nothing, and you get paid for doing a little bit of nothing. And then you retire from the government job. You know, we know the story now. But like I said, your presidency does have a lot of entertainment value. And that's about it. You know, your presidency has a lot of entertainment value. I don't know what you're going to say to the heads of states overseas. It's just always a cringe-worthy moment. But, you know, any kind of stimulus check that you would even think about passing, if Congress passes in November, December, it's useless. Because it's too late. It's too late. It's just play money. Have a nice day.